Friends, let me tell you a great secret. If you've been studying Buddhism for many years, but haven't achieved enlightenment, then you must patiently watch this video to the end. It will overturn all your previous understandings and benefit you for life. In Buddhism, there's a classic saying, widely circulated and known by many who study Buddhism. That is, if you want to achieve enlightenment, then you must choose to read the Śūraṅgama Sutra. If you want to become a Buddha and attain the Tao, then you must earnestly read the Lotus Sutra. As everyone knows, the Śūraṅgama Sutra is universally recognized as the first choice for enlightenment. But have you really understood how it enables sentient beings to awaken? What is its core teaching? However, at this current point in time, many Buddhists feel confused after reading the Śūraṅgama Sutra as if their minds are spinning. Why is that? If you don't understand this scripture, you might think it's a profound and mysterious philosophical book. But when you truly comprehend it, you'll discover that the entire scripture centers on 4 words. All dharmas return to one. The Śūraṅgama Sutra is actually very interesting. It tells the story of Buddha's cousin Ānanda, who went out to beg for alms. In today's plain language, while begging for food, he encountered a fallen woman. This woman was so beautiful that Ānanda became somewhat disoriented. His mind wandered and he almost lost control, nearly compromising his purity. Then he returned in tears, asking the Buddha for guidance. The entire Śūraṅgama Sutra is actually Shakyamuni Buddha using clear logic and reasoning, presenting facts and truthfully explaining to help his cousin Ānanda step by step find his original mind, because the Buddha understood that only by helping Ānanda find his true mind could he eliminate his inner delusions, escape the 6 paths of reincarnation, and ultimately achieve nirvana. Ānanda would no longer be enticed by beautiful women because the current Śūraṅgama Sutra was translated during the Tang Dynasty. It's written in classical Chinese. Many people can't understand it. In this video, I stand on the shared understanding of people today and explain it in simple, easy-to-understand language. I will help all Buddhists reorganize how Shakyamuni Buddha, back then, step by step, helped his cousin Ānanda find his true mind. There are 3 steps in total. We'll start from the shallow and gradually go deeper. First step, let's discuss something you can understand. First, you need to implant a belief in your mind. You need to clearly know that your current physical body is composed mainly of carbohydrates and inorganic salts, skillfully combined together. It's merely an extremely sophisticated machine. In Buddhist terms, it's called the 4 great elements temporarily combined. In today's scientific language, it's actually piles of basic particles and light waves skillfully assembled. Our eyes, you can think of them as extremely precise cameras. Our ears, nose, tongue, skin, etc. are essentially very sophisticated sensors. Our internal organs and limbs are seamlessly coordinated, flawless, perfect precision components. When you're alive and each part of you is operating correctly and normally on its own track, someday when you close your eyes and your physical body ceases, these basic particles actually don't disappear. When your body disintegrates, all these basic particles recombine according to conditions and manifest as pigs, cows, sheep, flowers, fish, and so on. Therefore, we come to a conclusion. Your current physical body is merely piles of basic particles, temporarily combined at this point in time and space. This so-called physical body actually has no fixed and unchanging self-nature. It only gathers and disperses according to conditions, a mere appearance. The physical body without self-nature, in Buddhist terms, is called empty. Those phenomena without self-nature, their essence is all emptiness. Therefore, the Heart Sutra says, form is not different from emptiness. Emptiness is not different from form. This is very reasonable. Next, let's look at the second step. How do you know that this physical body and all things exist? Where does this knowing itself come from? Think carefully. You might say it's because your eyes see, your ears hear, or your body senses the external world. It's because of your awareness that they exist. You truly know. Okay, let's use reverse reasoning to analyze. Where does your awareness come from? What exactly generates this awareness? A big tree is seen by you. How do you become aware of the existence of this tree? Let me help you sort it out. This is very important. Please listen carefully. The big tree reflects light into your eyes. Your eyes perceive the light, then transmit it to your brain through neural transmitters. Your brain processes it based on your previous knowledge system, forming the image of the tree. Pay close attention. The tree is formed after your brain processes it and is perceived by something invisible. What you see, what you hear, what you touch, all things are signals transmitted by your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind to the brain. After processing, they're perceived by something invisible and formed. Without that invisible entity to process and perceive, all things cannot take shape. Think deeply, reflect on this. Is it your brain that perceives? If you truly fall asleep or are knocked unconscious, your brain is still active. Your brain hasn't died. But why can't you perceive all things? Look at microorganisms. They have no brain. Why can they perceive danger and make escape movements? This proves that your brain, like your eyes, ears, nose, and tongue, has no self-nature. It's merely a tool for you to understand the world. This tool isn't the true master that allows you to see, hear, and perceive. So who is the master that enables your awareness? Buddhism calls it BODHI mind, the enlightened mind. Your six senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, perceive the external six dusts: form, sound, smell, taste, touch, and dharma. Then arise the five poisons: greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, doubt. Subsequently, the seven emotions emerge: joy, anger, worry, thought, sadness, fear, shock. This series of feelings and perceptions are all functions of your BODHI mind, the marvelous use of the mind. All things exist because you rely on your six senses and six consciousnesses perceived by your mind, and thus they exist. Next, the third step. At this very moment, you're looking at the screen. The images and sounds on the screen exist because they're perceived by your mind. You should be able to understand this. But in the previous second, you didn't perceive whether you were sitting or standing. In the previous second, you didn't perceive whether today was cloudy or sunny. In the previous second, you didn't perceive any form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or dharma beyond the screen. Why is that? It only indicates one thing. Your mind can only perceive one thing at a time. It shows that your mind can only generate one thought at a time. From this, we infer your perception is composed of countless continuous thoughts. One thought after another, thoughts continue. All things arise because of thoughts and are manifested, but the continuous thoughts you generate, if you want to grasp any one of them, you cannot attain it. Because when you want to capture that thought, it has already been replaced by a new one. It's like when you want to cling to a certain image, it has already been replaced by a new image. You cannot grasp past images. You cannot grasp present images. You cannot grasp future images, because all images exist only as illusions transformed by your mind under conditional combinations. Therefore, all phenomena arise from the mind. All dharmas arise from the mind. All things arise from the mind. The world exists because of the mind. Apart from your mind, there's nothing else, nothing to obtain. All right, please continue listening. When you were 8 years old looking at the stars, and when you're 68 looking at the stars, have the stars changed? When you were 8 listening to a bell, and when you're 68 listening to the bell, has the bell's sound really changed? When you were 8 getting an injection, and when you're 68 getting an injection, has the pain changed? Your mind perceives the stars through your eyes. It doesn't change because of your age. The mind perceives the bell through your ears. It doesn't change because of your age. The mind feels pain through your skin. It doesn't change because of your age. Everything your mind perceives through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind doesn't change due to worldly space. Therefore, the mind has no old or young, no beginning or end, no big or small, no birth or death. The mind is the true master. Thoughts arising from the mind transform into images. Images follow conditions, combining and dispersing, arising and ceasing, without self-nature. Therefore, they are empty. Only when you find your own unborn and undying Bodhi mind, you find your true self. You become enlightened and achieve Buddhahood. Thank you very much for patiently reading to the end. I hope it has touched and inspired you. See you next time.